What happened to the Romanov family in the Russian Revolution? Have you ever wondered about the fate of the Romanov family during the Russian Revolution? This story is filled with drama and tragedy, marking a major shift in history. The Romanovs were the last imperial dynasty of Russia, ruling for over 300 years. Their downfall began with the February Revolution in 1917, which forced Tsar Nicholas II to abdicate the throne. This abdication effectively ended their reign and the autocratic rule in Russia. Initially, Nicholas abdicated in favor of his brother, Grand Duke Michael. However, Grand Duke Michael declined the throne, leaving power to the provisional government. This created a power vacuum that led to increased political chaos. After the abdication, Nicholas and his family were placed under house arrest at the Alexander Palace. As unrest grew, they were moved to Tobolsk in Siberia in August 1917 for their safety. The situation escalated when the Bolsheviks took control during the October Revolution later that year. The Romanovs were then transferred to Yekaterinburg, where they were confined in the Ipatiev House, often referred to as the House of Special Purpose. This location was meant to keep them isolated from the outside world. As the civil war intensified, the Bolshevik leaders feared that anti-Bolshevik forces, including the Czech Legion, might rescue the Romanovs. To prevent this, the Soviet authorities made a devastating decision. In the early hours of July 17, 1918, Nicholas, his wife Alexandra, their 5 children, and several loyal servants were awakened under the guise of relocation for their safety. Instead, they were taken to the basement of the Ipatiev House and executed by a firing squad. This order came from the Ural Soviet, likely with approval from Bolshevik leaders, including Vladimir Lenin. The execution was brutal. Some of the daughters survived the initial gunfire due to precious stones sewn into their clothing, but they were later killed with bayonets. Their bodies were disposed of in a nearby forest, burned with acid, and buried in a disused mineshaft to hide the crime. This act marked the definitive end of the Romanov dynasty and the old imperial order in Russia. The fate of the Romanov family is a key event in understanding the violent social and political upheavals of the Russian Revolution. It symbolizes the shift from centuries of imperial rule to the establishment of a communist state under the Bolsheviks. The execution of the Romanovs highlights how revolutions can lead to radical changes in governance and society, often at a high human cost. This tragic chapter in history illustrates the complex dynamics of political power and social unrest that can reshape nations and influence global history.